If you clicked on this video, you've probably faced moments where your thoughts seem to be working against you instead of helping you move forward. That's a very common problem. Fortunately, there are techniques to help you. Let's use a common scenario many of us face. Imagine you're at work and you've just made a mistake. Maybe you missed an important deadline or forgot a key detail. Immediately, your mind starts saying, "I'm terrible at my job. I always mess things up." This kind of negative self-talk can be overwhelming and paralyzing, but today we're going to learn how to reframe these thoughts and shift to a more helpful mindset. But what if I told you that the real challenge isn't the mistake itself? The real problem is the thoughts that hold us back after it happens. Today, I'll show you how reframing negative thoughts can help us get unstuck and move forward. First, a quick definition of negative thoughts. They are the self-critical, pessimistic, or fearful thoughts that can distort how we see the world. Negative thoughts can drain our motivation and make our problems feel much worse than they really are. Here is a quote I like from Mark Twain. "I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened." So you see, a person as famous as Mark Twain let the world know that even he deals with negative thinking needlessly. This video aims to teach you one of several techniques to combat negative thoughts. Let me be clear, negative thoughts will not suddenly disappear. Our goal is to be aware as soon as we can that we are thinking in a way that does not benefit us. Once we are aware that we are currently having negative thoughts, then we use a technique like reframing to combat them. Reframing is the process of taking a negative thought and changing the way you interpret it. It's about finding a more positive, constructive way to think about the situation. It is very important to understand that when we reframe a thought, we are not ignoring reality. Instead, we are choosing to interpret it in a way that is more helpful to us. For example, let's say you catch yourself thinking, "I always mess things up." Now, instead of letting that thought spiral and make you feel defeated, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, is this really true? Do I always mess things up? Chances are, the answer is no. You've probably done plenty of things right in your life. You can reframe that thought into something more accurate and encouraging. When I catch myself having these thoughts, I literally stop for a moment, and if practical, I say out loud something like, "Okay, Doug, sometimes I make mistakes, but I also learn from them. What can I do to improve?" And then I give myself a high five for catching myself. Here is another great tip. Make use of your emotions. Feel happy that you caught yourself. You need to reinforce the good feeling for having fought back against those worthless negative thoughts. The key here is to challenge the absoluteness of your negative thoughts. Words like always, never, or impossible tend to make our problems seem bigger than they actually are. By questioning those words, we give ourselves room to see a more balanced perspective. Another part of reframing is to find a positive angle. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I use this experience to grow? This shift in thinking takes you from being a passive victim of your own thoughts to someone who is actively shaping their own mental landscape. Imagine you've just been assigned a major project at work, and your first thought is, "I'm not capable of handling this. I'm going to mess it up." This kind of negative self-talk can make even starting the project feel impossible. But what if we reframed it? Instead of thinking, "I'm not capable," try thinking this instead. "This project is challenging, but I can learn as I go and figure things out step by step." By shifting the perspective, you go from feeling overwhelmed to feeling like you're up for the challenge. This small shift makes a big difference. Suddenly, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. And that reduces a lot of the pressure. Reframing is powerful because it empowers you to take control over your mindset. It helps you realize that while you can't always control what happens, you can control how you think about it. You can choose thoughts that serve you better. So, as you go through your day, pay attention to your thoughts. Notice when they're leaning towards negativity and take a moment to reframe them. You might be surprised at how much lighter you feel and how much more motivated you become. Remember, the goal here is not to force yourself to be artificially positive all the time. It's okay to acknowledge when things are tough, The goal is to find a perspective that is both realistic and empowering, one that helps you keep moving forward rather than keeping you stuck. Let's practice this together. The next time you catch yourself in a negative thought, stop and ask, is this really true? Can I look at this in a different way that serves me better? So give reframing a try and see how it changes the way you feel and act. Thanks for watching. If this technique resonated with you, drop a comment below and share how reframing has helped you. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more tips on staying mentally strong and growing better and better every day. Until next time, remember, you have the power to change your thoughts. And by changing your thoughts, you change your life.